Time for the main event.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever heard of a game franchise called Def Jam? There was Def Jam Vendetta right here that I have on GameCube. There was Def Jam Fight for New York. And there was a third game that ended the franchise called Def Jam Icon. Now I played and beat the first two games and I never really got into the third game. I remember buying it used and I didn't really gel with the combat and ended up returning it. But the first two games, I played and completely beat them. Crow, Snoop Dogg in the end of the second game whooped my ass so much that I broke two controllers, old Xbox controllers because I was playing on the Xbox. I broke my two Duke controllers I had at the time. I was so mad. Those things were like a brick, so breaking those was pretty impressive. I was a rage kid when it came to fighting games. Anyway, why am I talking about Def Jam? Well, if you've been looking for a sequel or a re-release of the old games, it doesn't look like it's ever going to happen. So luckily, an indie developer has taken up the reins to build a spiritual successor. And I've talked about this game on the channel before, but before I didn't have access to a version of the game. So I reached out to the developer of Underground World War, and he was gracious enough to give me a beta version of the game, so I got to try it out for you guys and make this video. So, without further ado, let's get into this because boy oh boy was this game fun. Alright, so I broke it up into 5 different categories here, and the first category is going to be modes. Modes in the game. So it's got, for its exhibition mode, it's got 1v1, it's got team, so basically 2 versus 2. Then it's got free-for-all, where it's up to 3 to 4 players. Now, currently, it looks like you can only play as 4 people, or up to 4 players. Maybe he'll add on to that later on in the game's life, but for now, it's 4 players maximum. It has a creation suite, which blew my mind of how far along it is. Because most of these indie games, the creation suite is very bare bones. No, this one's actually pretty decent. It has online PvP, which wasn't available in this beta version of the game, but he does have plans for online player versus player. Has a cool club mode for listening to music, which wasn't available in the beta, but I'm guessing it has a cool feature. Maybe there's a little interactive thing that he has planned for it. And then also has an in-game shop where you'll be able to buy all your moves, your creation parts, your characters, all that kind of stuff. That looks really cool. Unfortunately, that was not available in this version of the game, but I mean, if you've played these type of games before, if you played AEW Fight Forever or the old Aki games, I'm guessing it's going to act like the SmackDown Mall was in those, or any game where it has an in-game shop where you unlock stuff. So that's really cool, where it's all in a shop to unlock things, moves. And it also has a way to level up your characters in a cool little gym type of thing, which wasn't available in this beta version of the game. But if you go over on their Steam page, it has a little synopsis of how you will level up your character, which is really cool. So unfortunately, that wasn't available here. On to the number 2 section of this video, gameplay. Now this is the best part of this game so far. It feels like Def Jam mixed with Power Stone. Combat moves are broken up into 4 types: martial arts, kickboxing, street fighting, and wrestling. It also uses the same system, the momentum system, for finishers like the old Aki games. Basically, when you fill up your momentum meter, you hit the right joystick and you do a special rage taunt, and you go into what is basically essentially rage mode or signature mode, like in the old Aki games or the current AEW Fight Forever game. And then once you get them in a grapple state, then you activate it again by using the joystick and you do your finishing move to knock them out. It uses a health bar system, so basically if you knock their health all the way down, although in one of the fights I did, I still had to do a haymaker or something to knock them out, so they don't just automatically get knocked out when their health went away, at least not in the fight I did. So you do have to either interact with objects around you, like the car or a subway. I managed to throw a guy into a subway. He got ran over. I'm like, holy crap, that was pretty cool. But yeah, the gameplay feels really solid. It's really snappy. It has a block button that also acts as a counter button. The timing is it's not crazy to where you have to be absolutely perfect. I kind of like how it's one button. It's not like multiple buttons the 2K games where it has an Irish whip counter, it has a combo breaker counter, it has a punch and grapple counter, it has all these different counter buttons, and it literally it's so annoying. Just give me either one counter button for everything, or go back to the old school ways of right bumper for, what was it, strikes, and left bumper for grapples. I'm probably mixing them up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And then both for finishers for a wrestling game. This, I think, is perfect for this. The way the gameplay is and everything, it works really well. You can either block, or if you time it just right, you can counter them. And it works for grapples, punches, kicks. It worked really, really well, and I was very happy with the countering system because I was wondering if this game was going to have one, because some of these games don't, or if they do, they're totally broken and they don't work right, or they're too, they demand the timing to be too perfect, too precise. This felt really good, felt really natural. I messed up a bunch. I got it really good a couple times, so it feels perfect for this game. So developer, if you're watching, I wouldn't tweak the countering thing too much unless you're going to have a dedicated counter button and a dedicated block button. I like your current setup, and I would probably stick with it for now. Obviously, you can add the option in later for other different variations of counter, but I really like what you have. As I stated earlier, it's really cool having the interactive environment where if you throw them into the crowd, they shove them back. You can throw them on the top of a car. You can slam the door on them. You can throw them in a subway. You can pick up objects in the world. I picked up a Coke bottle, a glass Coke bottle, and smacked the crap out of them with it. The 4v4 battles felt really good. You can lock onto your opponents. It has this little delay where you point at who you're going to beat up, and I think that's a little cool thing because it helps the player understand who he's looking at, and it doesn't automatically switch to whoever. But if you do accidentally attack someone you're not locked onto, it does lock onto the other character. At least it seemed that way. Anyway, so I really liked the gameplay. I really gelled with it, and it really felt like a mixture, as I said, of Def Jam and Power Stone. And if you don't know what Power Stone is, it's a 3D arena fighter that Capcom made way back on the Dreamcast. And I think they released the second one on the Dreamcast also, and it's in one of the modern collections, like the Fighting Game Collection, if you're ever curious. I never got to play Power Stone 2, but I hear it's really, really good. It has cool boss fights and stuff. But anyway, Power Stone 1 was awesome. Every character had like a power-up form, but anyway, I'll talk about that later. But anyway, the gameplay is, what I'm trying to say is the gameplay is phenomenal. I really, really like the gameplay. It just needs some minor tweaking with the animations because there's some clipping and stuff. But for the most part, he's nailed the gameplay. He's nailed the feel of this game. And that's what I'm most excited for about when this comes out. Because to me, that's probably the most important thing. If you got the solid foundation for gameplay, everything else can be added in eventually. So that's why I'm making this video. That's why I reached out to him to make this, because it looked like the gameplay was really good. But I wasn't really sure until I got to try it myself. So once again, shout outs to the developer for hooking me up with this beta version of the game, because I had a blast with it. All right, number 3, onto the Creation Suite. It has create a male and female character. It needs a little work, but the foundation is solid and has already more options, I'm going to say it, than AEW Fight Forever had at launch. That, to me, is so sad, because AEW Fight Forever, I don't want to keep taking shots at this game, but it just baffles me that a fully licensed IP wrestling game of a legit promotion, AEW, the second biggest promotion in the world when it comes to wrestling, and it had one of the worst created wrestlers in history, and it was even THQ. So whenever I see an indie developer have a better created wrestler right out of the gate before it's even officially launched, it just blows my mind how bad AEW's created wrestler was. Not to dig another shot or take another shot at AEW Fight Forever, it just baffles me every time I see it. So yes, it has a great created wrestler. It needs a lot more options, obviously, because it is in the beta version of the game. It has body morphing. It has a bunch of different costume parts. Where it needs to really focus on is the face morphing. It needs more body scaling, because the body scaling that's there was not that much. It'd be great if you can make like Yokozuna, or if you're making a female, you want to make her look exactly like Sable. There is a bust slider, which I find hilarious because most of these games are too scared to include that. AEW didn't include it. So the fact that it has a bust slider is hilarious to me. They're not scared. I mean, they know their audience. That's great. And I just wanted to put that in the video because a lot of these guys that talk about these games, that when they cover Create a Wrestler or create the Creation Suite in general, they're always too scared to show off the female Creation Suite, like all the options. It's like, you just show everything. So yes, it has a bust slider. All the other sections of the female body morphing were kind of like, it didn't really do that much, but the male body morphing worked pretty good. I just wish you could make him like really fat, different skin. I mean, you can change the skin color, but I'm talking about like skin tone, like if you want to have freckles or whatever, stuff like that. That would be really cool. When it comes to clothing, there was very limited, but that could always be added in later. Hopefully they add in an option for like tattoos, face paint, all that kind of stuff. Now I know this is a rapper-focused game and franchise. They probably don't want that in here, but it'd be cool to have tattoos. There's rappers with tattoos all over their face. I know that's probably a whole nightmare to add in, like a image uploader where you can put images anywhere. I doubt they'll ever get it to where it's like the 2K games where you can upload your own images, but that would be really cool if they could get to that point, have a online community creations. I don't know if that's in the works, but the fact that it has a creator wrestler and it has so many options, there's a ton of different hair options. Not all the hairs would change color in the beta version of the game. I'm sure that's just a glitch, and we'll have that fixed out by the end when the game officially launches. And currently there's no way to change your moveset, but you do pick your class type. So there was martial arts, kickboxing, street fighting, and wrestling. And the fact that you can go into it and look at every single move tells me that he's going to go in and add in a bunch of moves that you can customize yourself eventually. It's just in this version of the game, it wasn't accessible. But the fact that he has it all set up to where you can go through and pick your moves, or at least look at them, tells me that he's going to add it in later. Because otherwise, what's the point of looking at the moves if you can't go through and change them all? Because he has it all listed out in a menu to where you can look at what the moves are. It'd be kind of weird if you couldn't change it later on. So it looks like the system is in place. He just has to go in and add it in later. So it looks like, yes, you will be able to create your own moveset and all that kind of stuff. There's no create an arena currently, probably because it only has 4 levels to begin with. And the way this game is structured, it's mostly about like street fighting and fighting in like subways and stuff like that. It's not really like a big arena where you fight and stuff like that. But it would be cool to have like a create an arena where you can place the cars. You can place a subway on a bridge or wherever he ends up making levels for. That would be a cool addition to the game. Again, Creation Suite is awesome. Just want to throw that out there. It needs a little tweaking. It needs more options. But in its current state, in the beta version, it's a very good start for a creator wrestler. And I was very, very pleased with it. Number 4, music. I know this is a Def Jam spiritual successor, but it would be nice to have background music with no lyrics for streamers and YouTubers, content creators that want to cover the game on their channels. Music was good if you're really into rap, but it needs options. Now, I don't hate rap or anything. The only music style I hate is country. I cannot stand country. But what I'm talking about here is they could have cool hip-hop music with no lyrics in the background for like fighting in the levels and stuff like that. I feel like that would be a good alternative for streamers and stuff like that if you want this game to really like blast off when it comes out between streamers and stuff. Just stuff like that would really help, I think, with the music aspect of the game. Other than that, I think the music was great. It was good if you're really into rap music. I didn't hate it. It was pretty cool. All right, now number 5, my overall thoughts. Just to sum up, gameplay was really, really good. The presentation was good. The graphics, I think, are fine for what they're going with here. The creator wrestler needs some tweaking, but the foundation they have is so good that it kind of blew me away that it's already this good in this early beta version of the game. Can't wait to see the final build of it. My only concern is over on Steam, it has like a synopsis of the story, but I didn't see a menu here for a story mode. Now, maybe he'll add it in the final version of the game. This is just, like I said, a beta test. But I really hope he has some sort of career mode planned out for the game, or like a universe mode, or some sort of mode. Hopefully it's not just like a fighting game where it has an arcade mode, or it's just like you're fighting other characters. Because even though it has an online aspect of the game, which will keep it alive for a very long time because the gameplay is pretty solid, for those people that don't play online, you got to have something. So you got to have some sort of career mode, which I'm assuming he has in the works. If you haven't discovered or figured out how you want to approach that, I would recommend doing something like Yakuza. Like have a Yakuza world where it's not gigantic, but it's like it could be like this underground city with a certain size, and you just go from section to section, which leads into your levels. You can have little interaction dialogues and stuff like that, and then the world you're already in that you've already built for levels, you can just boom, it transitions to a fight, and you fight on the streets right there. I feel like that'd be a good give and take. You can release the story in segments with updates, just like Ultra Pro Wrestling was planning to do. They were going to do eras, so basically like the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, so on and so forth for their story mode. You guys could do something similar. What I mean by the Yakuza style, because the game has this cool 3D aspect to it where you can interact with the environment, I think it'd be cool to go the Yakuza route where you can just fight people on the streets whenever. Heck, you could turn it into a semi-brawler / wrestling / fighting game. I mean, it's right there. You're on the cusp of it. I think it's perfect and prime for that, if that's the direction you want to go. Anyway, closing thoughts. Really liked the demo. Had a blast with it. Thank you again for letting me try out the game. I can't wait to see what the final build looks like. I'm there day one. Man, the gameplay was fun. Makes me really miss Def Jam. I might have to go hook up my GameCube and play this on the channel because it's been a long time. With that being said, it's going to be available on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Now, I don't know if it'll probably be Switch 2 at this point by the time it comes out. It says it's expected to launch by the end of 2026, but you know how the game development is. It might be 2027 or beyond. But this version of the game, even though he gave me an early build of the game, it feels like he's right on track. There's a website, there's a Steam page, everything seems to be flushed out, ready to go. Just looks like he needs to decide when to release it because it's fun. It's very fun. All their socials, all their links will be in the description down below. I encourage you to go check it out, go wishlist it, and show them some love. Go follow them on X. Once again, thanks for the code. Thanks for letting me check it out. And as always, stay frosty.